Mr. Paula is in his first year of being an associate principal here at Brandon Valley High School. Mr. Paula describes his first year as a pretty big learning opportunity with a pretty big learning curve.
Just coming in new to a new community. I have some experience with Brandon Valley when I student out here a number of years ago, but just getting to know students, teachers, staff members, community members, that's kind of been the one of the most challenging pieces, but also probably one of the more exciting ones, just getting to know people.
Mr. Paula thinks building relationships with others is a very important part of his job.
It's just when you have 1,300 kids, approximately 120 staff in our building, the families that go with that, just developing those relationships takes time, it takes energy, and it's good. It's a very positive thing, but just to get to that point, coming in new, I believe Miss Moore and myself kind of feel the same way. It just takes time to do that, but we believe that will hopefully pay off in the long run when we can establish those relationships with students.
Mr. Paula used to be very involved in activities and now likes to see kids thrive in all activities.
It's always fun to see kids doing what they love, whether that's art club or on the soccer field or on the courts, whatever that is. Seeing kids do what they love and find their passions, and then that goes as far as our HOSA and the fall play, the spring musical that's going on, all those things. When kids have a passion for what they're doing, that's pretty exciting to me.
Mr. Paula thinks communication skills is an important skill that he uses every day to make his job easier for him.
And that's always something you need to work on. It's not something like I've got it or I'm done working on that. So I think communication skills, just working on that, and then just building those relationships, but then also just organization. Even this morning, for example, doing multiple different things and balancing that and just kind of checking those off. Just making sure things get done to make sure students and teachers have what they need to do their job successfully, to do their things successfully. That's what we try to do, is help facilitate all of that.
Everyone has a reason as to why they are doing something, and this is why Mr. Paula wanted to be an associate principal.
Taught for a number of years, and then worked into kind of some more, got my administrative degree, and started to kind of dabble in that, what that would be like to help influence the school beyond just kind of the classroom. And I was coaching, but what else could you do? And I thought that would be a fun challenge. And then when the opportunity came available here in Brandon, that's something I had been an athletic director and wanting to get back kind of into the classroom side of things, the holistic side of the school. What does that look like? That's very interesting to me and intriguing to me, and it was an opportunity to get back into that, spending more time in the classroom working with teachers as they are the boots on the ground working with kids.
Mr. Paula grew up not far from Brandon Valley. He grew up as a Brookings Bobcat, then went to South Dakota State. Because of this, he has always been aware of Brandon Valley's athletic and academic success.
Loved coming down to compete here. So that was kind of my loose affiliation with that, but very proud of the time that I got to spend in Brookings, very proud to be an alum from that school and from South Dakota State, but ecstatic to be a part of the Lynx family.
Mr. Paula's free time outside of school consists a lot about his family.
Our kids, we have 3 little ones, and they're starting to get a little more involved in activities, their own different sports and things like that. Spending time with them. My wife was a basketball coach, college basketball coach, so we spend a lot of time at basketball games, in the gym. That's where we spend a lot of our time, shooting hoops, things like that, just being active. Try to do that as much as possible.
Mr. Paula looks up to a former colleague, Dr. Paul Peterson, who was his superintendent in St. Peter, and now he is the superintendent of Mankato Public Schools.
Really look up to him and how just his leadership style. When things aren't going well, just kind of that calm, cool, collected, a lot of wisdom. I really appreciated that, and I still confer with him regularly on, hey, this is what's going on. How did you handle this? How would you handle this? Just again, how I can continue to learn and grow as a leader as well.
We were all kids at one point and wanted to be a firefighter or a cop, but Mr. Paula wanted to be in the science field.
And actually, it was pretty strong desire throughout high school to be a microbiologist. I'm very fascinated in things like bacteria, viruses, things like Ebola, kind of those really cryptic, nasty things, but that was very intriguing to me. And then I started taking courses along those lines in college and realized didn't really want to be in a lab all day. For a lot of people, that suits them. They love it. For me, the one a little bit more, started to have a desire to do more maybe in education, working with people. So I kind of shifted that. But I was very intrigued. I still am very interested in that. But to be a microbiologist and work with kind of that biological piece.
Mr. Paula has the Lynx Way characteristics of respect and kindness as being important in his job and daily life.
Respect, that can be from respecting yourself, giving yourself the motivation, the boundaries to be the best that you can be, and then respecting others as well, be it a classmate, a teacher, a community member, whatever that looks like. And then above all, it's just being kind. We share the building with 1,300 kids. 1,300 students, and we have to be able to cohabitate and get along together. And when you treat each other with kindness, a lot of the things the barriers that get into the way seem to kind of go away. So we can be, when we're kind to one another, we can all have a safe place here in the school.
Mr. Paula does a lot more than we think behind the scenes, and always tries to make sure the students are always set up to succeed and that the staff are always prepared to help and cooperate. We are all happy to be able to have Mr. Paula as our associate principal at Brandon Valley High School.
Thanks, everybody.
Sell it. You're a principal. You're looking at your